the brand new iOS 18 is now available to beta testers. I have iOS 18 in my iPhone 15 Pro, and the first new feature is with the home screen customization. In the past, when we'd long press an app and move it around, we could only move it next to the previous app. But now with iOS 18 Beta 1, we can move apps anywhere on the home screen. You're not limited by the organization. On top of this, if we tap the edit option at the top left hand side, we can now customize the app icons. So I'm going to tap the customize option here, and if we choose automatic or dark or light or tinted, this allows us to customize the app icons for the very first time. So I'm going to choose these pink icons, and boom. So now all of my icons are pink. Isn't this really cool? The next new feature is if we swipe down from the far right hand side of the screen, we have a redesigned control center. So if I bring my old phone here, this is the control center in iOS 17, and with the brand new iOS 18, this is completely redesigned. So first of all, if we swipe up like this, we have these different grids. So with the old iOS 17, you would swipe up to dismiss, but with iOS 18, we have all these grids. So we have our favorites, then we have our music, and then we have our controls, like turning on Wi-Fi, stuff like that. Now, if we long press on the empty space of the control center, we can either remove a control or we can add a control. So if I select add a control here, we have all these controls which are available. And so if I want the orientation lock, I can tap on it and you can see it's been added there. And unlike iOS 17, where you couldn't really move anything, okay, with iOS 18 we can move everything. So I'm just going to drag and drop this, and look at that. In the past you were not able to do that, now you are able to. So if we head out the control center here, there are two major features with iOS 18 which many people wanted. It's now available today. So the first feature is hiding apps, and the second feature is locking apps. So if I wanted to lock an application, I'd long press on the app like this, and we now have a brand new option which says require Face ID. So I'm just going to tap require Face ID, and I'll tap require. So I'll turn down my brightness for the stream. And now, when I try and open up an app, it's meant to ask for my Face ID. So I'll try that one more time. And so earlier it was asking, maybe it's broken. I'll try that one more time. There we go. So I'm going to open up the subway. And so this feature seems to work half the time, but you can see it's asking for my Face ID, and only when I enter it in will it open the app. Many of us thought that this would only be applying to the Apple default apps like the phone, the messages, but this is for all applications. Okay, this is Subway Surfers, this is a game, any app. Now on top of this, if I long press the app again, and then I go, and I'll just unlock this one real quick, we have the hide app option. So if I long press, it seems like that option is now gone for that app. But we should see here require Face ID, and then under this one we have this hide app and require Face ID. So this is going to lock the app and hide it at the same time. So if I hide this one, and I'll just enter in my login, we now have this new menu that says hide speed test or hide whatever application. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide the speed test app. Now speed test is hidden from my phone, and unlike in the past where you'd hide an app from the home screen and then you could just open it anyway, well, now to access that hidden app, we swipe across to the app library, and then if we scroll down here, we have this new hidden option. And what's really cool about the hidden option is you're going to notice if an app's hidden, you can't actually see what apps are in the hidden folder. So if I tap on the hidden here, I'm just entering my biometrics. Once you enter in your biometrics, now you can see the hidden app right there. And so that's pretty cool. So I'm just going to quickly make the icons look normal again. There we go. Now we have brand new features with the Messages app. So if I go to the Messages app here and I go to a message, in the past, I mean, iMessage was quite limited, but we have a ton of new features. So first of all, I'm just going to send a message like this. So I'm going to send my message. And so with iOS 17 and older, the reactions you could provide in the message were quite limited. But now if I long press on the message here, we can see that we can add essentially any emoji we want as a reaction. So I'll use this, and so I've added this, emoji, and you can see this one right there. On top of this, I'm going to go and type a message, and we have this new option to the right. So this option doesn't exist in the iOS 17, and if I tap on this one, we can customize the font for the very first time. So let's say I want this nod effect on the font. Hey, that's very cool. Maybe I'm a kid for that. Look, you can see we have that new font effect right there. And so I'm just going to add a jitter effect. And so you're going to notice this has one effect, this part of the message has another effect. So you can write out a text, you can write a sentence, you can say happy birthday, blah, blah, blah. And then you have all these effects. And when I send this one, this is going to show up, and it's going to show up on that other person's end. You can see the effects right there. Now, there is also scheduling text messages. I could not find the option, and Siri, with the advanced intelligence, which I will get onto, was not able to help me. But if I was a betting man, this is going to come in a future beta of iOS 18. You'd probably long press the send button, and then there'd be a schedule option. Unfortunately, this is currently not available. Now, when you open up a game, there is this brand new game mode. So let's open up a game like this, and you're going to see it's going to immediately turn on the game mode. And so with game mode, this is going to improve your gaming performance. So a game like Subway Surfers, you're not really going to notice any improvements here. But if I just load up the Subway Surfers, this is going to remove or reduce all of the background processes. So if you're playing a really graphically intensive game like Call of Duty, Warzone, PUBG, well then these games are going to run far better than they would before. Warzone Mobile, all these games, they had the performance issues. And when you exit the game, it's going to go out of that game mode immediately. Now there's new updates with the Mail app, but the Mail is not working at the moment. So you can see it's stuck on this signing in screen. Maybe if I open it. So it's kicked me out of the Mail. So let's check on my backup iPhone. Here we go. So my backup iPhone here is on iOS 18.2. And there's meant to be new features here. Currently, I'm not seeing anything. But one thing that we will have is more advanced search. So if you wanted to search for, let's say, a topic, I don't know, Google, then it would show the Google stuff. But I'm not seeing anything here. I'm going to be blunt with you. Now with the Apple Wallet app, if you're in the United States, you have this pretty cool feature. So if I open up the wallet here, so if we go out of here, Apple Cash, if you're in the United States, is a way to pay money between two people. You may have remembered this name drop feature, this one right here, where you can share the contact information. But with the Apple Cash, you can now quickly transfer money between two devices. So you do the same name drop, and then you'll be able to quickly send and receive money from one person to the other. Now the Photos app has a ton of new features. So this spare phone is not a good example. This is my security camera. But if I go into this phone here, we go to the Photos app, we're going to notice, whoa, we got a lot of stuff. So First of all, we're in the Photos app, we have this brand new view. So we're going to see our regular photos here, and then if we swipe out of this one, we can see recent days. So if I tap into this, you can just see, memorable days. So today we can see all of the pictures that I took. So you can see these are my thumbnail pictures I took. And we can also turn this into a movie. So if I tap the movie option, this is essentially like a slideshow. Just going to go through all the pictures, as you would expect. Now, I really don't know what else is is available here, but what I do know is there is an option to remove the background. So on the Google Pixel phones, if I find my Google Pixel, don't boo when you see this phone, but there is the magic eraser feature. So I'll just show you this, and then we'll compare it to the iPhone. So let's say I have this image here of me. On the Google phones, you had the magic eraser. So we'll just compare the two. So we'll go to the edit. If I can find this on my iPhone. I actually can't find the edit option. Interesting. Alright. Let's try this photo. There we go, we are in the edit. So on the Google, if I go to the tools, we had this magic eraser. This was in Google originally, and I'll show you the example just in case the iPhone doesn't have this feature yet. But with Google, you just circle something and it's going to remove it. So if we just wait for this to find its suggestions, which it is not doing, you can tell this is why you don't get a Google phone. It's not loading anything. There we go. So let's say this mic in the background here, if I just circle like this, so I'm just going to circle like this, it should remove the background. You can see that it removed the mic. Now on the iPhone, this feature is also meant to be present with the brand new iOS 18. But if I'm looking at this, I cannot find the option to remove the background. But this is somewhere inside of the Photos app, and so it will be here somewhere, but it's not in an option that I can see. Now Siri has brand new updates. So the good news and the bad news is Siri is going to be good, but the Apple Intelligence which powers Siri currently doesn't even exist. So we heard in the announcement we're going to get ChatGPT inside of Apple Intelligence. This is not available. So I'm going to do something advanced. I'm going to say, write a poem on Leonardo da Vinci.
Here's what I found.
And you can see it does its typical Siri job where it just Googles stuff. So Siri and all that Apple Intelligence currently doesn't even exist yet. It's coming later this year, maybe in a public release, but it's currently not available. But let's test the contextual. So I'm going to get iOS 17 here. We're gonna do a question. So we're going to check the weather, and then we're going to book a calendar based on the weather. So I'm going to say, what's the weather like in London tomorrow?
Expect cloudy skies in London, United Kingdom tomorrow.
Add a reminder to go there at 9 a.m. So
okay, I added it.
We have the new feature. So Siri in iOS 17 would not be able to do what we just did. So I'm going to turn on Siri. Well, this is iOS 17. I'm going to do the exact same thing, and you'll be able to spot the difference. What is the weather like tomorrow in London? Let's try again. What is the weather like tomorrow in London? Okay, so it says the temperature. And the first thing you're going to notice is it's not letting me speak again. It just closed out Siri, like it gave up. But let's go back to iOS 18. What is the weather like tomorrow in London?
Looks like it will be cloudy in London,
and you can
United
see
Kingdom tomorrow.
you can just keep on talking, right? You can keep on talking and it's going to remember your previous response. So I'm going to do that again with iOS 17. What is the weather like tomorrow in London? And then I'm going to tap it. Add a reminder to go there at 9 a.m. Okay, all right. This is interesting. So I just demoed what Apple did in the iOS 18 WWDC, and they said this was only available in iOS 18. It just happened in iOS 17, which is very interesting. So I'm going to take any questions you may have. I have these phones here. I have 2 phones available. You want to rewind the stream to check the main features. So I'm going to read chat now. Just ask me any questions. I have gone through the main features. Apple Intelligence is not in this software yet. Otherwise, I would have checked it out. RCS? I really wouldn't have a clue. But we can check together. So let's go to the messages. So if we go to the... new settings. So they've changed how the settings look. Look at this. They've like hidden half the stuff. There's no messages option anymore. Have you seen this? Interesting. What if I search for messages? Interesting. Is there a settings? They've removed the messages settings. This is interesting. Are there any big bugs? Let's have a look at the bugs. You see this right here? This is the TikTok. I'm not in wiggle mode, and it thinks I'm in wiggle mode. Look at that. Okay, so if I go and I go into the wiggle mode again, you notice that? This app is stuck in wiggle mode. So that's one of the first bugs I noticed. The second is that there is no way to actually schedule a text message. So I can see any option. There's the check-in, but there is absolutely no option to schedule a text message. Call recording. Let's have a look at call recording then. Let's see. So if I go to the settings, let's look for call recording. So, they've changed the settings. Look at this. So inside of the settings, in the previous firmware, so this is iOS 17 here. So if I just go to the settings, you will notice you just have a whole list of all your apps, right? But with iOS 18, they've made it so the apps are in the apps option. So they've actually made the apps more clean. So let's have a look at the call recording. So if I go to phone, let's see here. There's no obvious call recording option I see. So what I'm going to do is I'll insert some SIM cards. Always have a spare SIM card and a spare SIM ejector tool. And we'll take a look at this. So I'm going to insert the O2 SIM card in, and we'll check out the call recording feature. I actually didn't know call recording existed. We'll find out. So I'll plug this in, and then I'll just connect this. Now I will show my phone number. I'm just going to let you all know, if you are watching this and you call my numbers, it doesn't affect me, but your phone number shows up live to 500 people. So I'm just warning you, you will see my numbers. Call my number at your own risk. Okay? So if we go to the phone, I'm just going to move this out of the way because I have all my personal. So there's my number there. So 07394142106. Okay. User busy. Interesting. I think someone calling? Alright, no problem. Let's try and call on this phone. So there's no SIM in there. Alright. No problem. I have 100 SIMs. So we'll just try again. I hope no one is calling that number. Alright, we can test call recording. You have no caller ID. Yo. I'm trying to find the call recording option. But I don't see it. Are you on iOS 18?
Nah, I'm not on iOS 18, but I saw that when you were trying to call this up, it said call busy. I think that's like a FaceTime iMessage limitation. You're not able to call yourself.
I don't see the call recording option, so I'm going to hang up the phone. But nice talking to you. I don't see the call recording option there. So, call recording seems like it will be coming in a later beta. What else would you like me to try in iOS 18? Okay, wallpapers. Right, let's check out the new wallpapers in iOS 18. So if I go down to the customize, so this is the iOS 18 device. I'm going to add a new wallpaper, and so I'm going to put the iOS 17 device next to it. And let's take a look at what we got. So we have featured wallpapers. I think this is new. Just confirm it. No, it's the same. So we have the Pride. Aha, iOS 18. So this is the brand new wallpaper with the iOS 18. And we can swipe across to view the styles. Interesting. So if I just scroll down, we were told in leaks that there was going to be more wallpapers available, like these retro wallpapers. And at the moment, nothing is loading, so we won't really be able to know. I'll check the messages settings in a second. So currently nothing is loading. Try that again. Here we go. So here's the new wallpapers of iOS 18.